Greetings, world. I know it's been a minute. Welcome to another MEN-talRollaDeK podcast. Greetings, King. What's the word?
Ah, everything.
Everything and nothing at the same time? Is that what it
Yep.
is?
Yeah, that's how I be. I'm everywhere but nowhere, but I'm here. But I'm everywhere but I'm nowhere, but I'm here.
Wow, that sounds like the universe. I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, man.
I,
We be having some like dope conversation behind the scenes. Just about like the output of life and our mentality, how we view things, and so on, and why we view things the way we do things as a whole, as a people. So, the first question I want to ask you is how long are we going to fall for the deception?
well, if if we don't look if we don't put certain things to the test, we're gonna keep on going through the same cycle. We're gonna keep asking ourselves the same questions over and over and over again, and we're gonna keep on getting the same results. So if you live in that confine, I'm pretty sure it's like you're gonna be in a maze. You know, like you put a rat in a maze and you expect him to find a way. Yeah, he's gonna bump into pretty much the same thing over and over. The best way to to come out of a cycle is to pretty much I would always say put it to the test or look for other I don't know if I'm saying this right. Look for other means of making things work. I would say, like, look outside of what you normally do to see if there's there's another way other than this way that you're taught. I would
I
say.
I mean, I get what you're aiming to say, but I'm a little bit more blunt. So um, I tend to pretty much speak out how I feel. I like to express myself. Bro, we're dumb, bro.
It-
we we are stuck within a maze, running a race backwards,
yeah,
right?
because we're living in the I would say I would call white people them. That's their new name for me.
Matter of fact, let's
Yeah.
not let's not talk about them. Like I want to talk
Okay.
about us as a whole because we are still the cancer that grows on each other and bring each other down. Like a lot of people like to say it's the crab in the barrel mentality, but I want to hold us accountable and say that we are aware of what we're doing, but within the same time, we don't. So, what I want to state is this: if we can wake up every single day, go to work, provide for the fam, come back home, eat with the fam, sleep with your wife, tend to your children, so on and so forth. Why are we so lax when we look next door and our neighbors are going through certain gripes? And because that gripe is not on our doorstep, we turn a blind eye to that gripe, knowing what our neighbors is going through. It may not have an impeding effect on us at that particular moment, but that neighbor is a representation of us. We do not have unity within our communities, right? And I feel if we did have this unity within our communities, the accountability would be much more vibrant and strong.
Okay. I'm gonna help you with something real quick, right? Um, The reason why we don't have unity is because people don't want unity. Your intentions might be good for them, but they will think otherwise. I'm gonna give you an example. One day I came home from work, and this is just one of the many that I can remember.
Hmm.
I see a guy park his Beamer on the block, and when he parked, he he was there was a, New York parking is very tricky, right? If you park behind where the arrow is, you're good, but if you park in front of the arrow, that's a $65 ticket. So I says to this guy, I was like, if you park right there, you're gonna get a ticket. He was like, oh, fuck you, nigga. Who the fuck is you to be telling me where to fucking park? Mind your fucking business. Okay, I'm sorry. Kept it pushing. All right. So a next person, like these interactions that I have with people, and then when I tell my wife about it, she was like, "Yo, you should have just mind your business." And to a point, she's right. But like when you try to help people, that's the kind of um that's how they come off. Now again, one time I saw a girl parked up the block, and she had a Beamer, and she parked the car on the pedestrian. You're not supposed to park on that. I parked there and I got a $65 ticket. When Corona that bust the place, everybody could have parked, double park, triple park, every park. Now the shit calmed down. They giving out tickets to everybody.
They're
Feel me?
recouping.
Yeah, they're trying to recoup the money back. So I said to this girl, I was like, "Yo, don't park right there, and because you're gonna get a ticket. Because I got a ticket there the other day." She was like, "Oh, really?" I said, "Yeah." Boom. She she moved the car. Now, uh, I know a random lady in this building, and one time my wife parked outside, and I run taxi, and sometimes I give my number to random people, whatever, for me to pick them up and drop them off, whatever. And she called me and tell me that my wife is gonna get a ticket. Now, my best interaction most of the time are mostly with women, and that's where most of my income normally comes from. Women, I have a better communication skills with women when it comes to women. Men, on the other hand, it's a little bit
The
tougher.
pride, the ego, the penis
Right,
contest.
right. You see a nigga, and you say, "Oh, you know why the police be harassing you? Because you got your pants off your ass, blah 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 blah. This is that and the third." And guess what happened? The nigga flipped the fuck out, right? And
So
and and
so you're
and
saying so you're saying on the account of simple things that's ajar and you aim due to your heart to close those things with men, that's a form of the lacking of unity. Is that what that's your point?
dude, it's not even lacking the unity. I think it's beyond that. You just can't communicate with niggas. They have a mentality that's just different. But you said something to me today, and I've been really looking into it. I think if we knew more about our history when it comes to our forefathers, or the struggles that we go through, instead of just like a little sprinkle of it, a little Martin Luther King, a little Harry Tubman, and stuff like that. I think we'll have a better line of respect for each other.
Hey, let me shout out my greetings, Chantrice, my co-host. Unfortunately, she can't join us today. But the fact that you mentioned that the learning of our history is a thing because me and her go back and forth. Yes, Chantrice, and she feels as if that the things that I bring forth to her, I want her to question it, but I also want her to look into it. But she don't buy into it. She's like, if we had that much power, and someone else came and took our power. Basically, we're weak and we're stupid, and we deserve to be the way we are now.
Yeah, but if you're educated on what you have more value for it. They didn't take it. We gave it to them. We
See,
gave it. We gave everything we give to them. We give it to them out of fear because they put all these different um they put all these different patents and these different laws that work in their favor. And it's not a matter of that we're weak. It's just we don't trust each other. If you trust somebody, you're not going to give them a hard time. You're not going to question their capability or their inability to take care of you, because if you trust them, you trust that they have your best interests at heart. Black people don't trust black people. Show me how much of them out here that trust each other.
but they trust in the other ethnicity,
Yes,
and
they always do.
the
They
the
trust
other.
everybody. Yes, that's how backwards ass they is. They trust everybody but their own. And when you don't trust a person, they're gonna be one of the most difficult person to for you to try to show the way.
And man,
Trust,
it's
trust,
it's
trust
it's
goes a
crazy.
long way.
It's crazy too because I feel like we don't even trust our own reflections. Like if you want to go deeper,
Right.
due
That's
to
what I'm
due
saying.
to due to the
When
traumas.
look, when you trust, if I say I got you, right? I
Mhm.
got you because I'm a man of my word. But if you don't know me from a hole in a donut and you say trust me, you're gonna be like, fuck nigga, I don't know you. I don't know you from a hole in a donut. Why am I gonna trust you?
Facts. But you got to look at this, right? When we want to eat, we go to the stores of people we don't trust to get whatever we believe is substance to put within our temples, like it's nothing with the snap of a finger, right? But there's so much untrustworthy things within that store, right? The different variations of acids, the different variation of non-nutrients that's good for you. You know, the bleach, the flowers, and so on and so forth, the sugar, so on and so forth. We utilize people we don't trust daily. But when it comes to ourselves, we want to say, yo, I'm traumatized. How long are our people gonna play the victim and keep throwing out the race card? Do we know
It,
there's racism? Yes.
yes,
Do we know that things are stacked against us? Yes.
of course. We know all these things.
We
But
we know the game.
but you know what it is? We're not putting our words or action into play. There's a difference with knowing and putting it into play. If you don't put it into play, how the fuck is it gonna work?
We
How is
talk
it
good,
gonna
right?
work?
We sound
Huh?
good when we talk good, right?
Yeah,
We good talkers.
yeah. You talking all this shit, but you're not putting it into. There's one thing with saying it and doing it, and one thing is just saying it and just not doing it at all. If you say it, you have to live it, breathe it, sex it, shit it, eat it, be it.
You said
You have
sex.
to do all because you're a representation of what you say. And if you say something and you do otherwise, your word is basically paper. When you say it and you hold to what you say, you have diamond. You have a jewel. We know
Um,
all the things that you're saying. People know it, but they're just not putting it into practice. They're not putting none of it into practice.
um, what would you say? What would you say is our biggest strength and weakness as a people?
Strength, I think we have when it comes to that, that's not even a question. We have strength in in so many different aspects in life. But what we're recognized for, we're more recognized to be rappers, um, rappers, athletic people, and not so much as actors because actors don't get that much plays like that. But mostly rappers and athletic. Our education is our education goes under the radar. If you have a person that's smart, you're never gonna know about him. But if them is smart, you know about them. Because my wife was saying something to me a while back, and she was like, "Look at this bullshit video. This shit is viral." And one of us will do the same video, and it will probably get like 2 or 3 views because they have more of a support system that they support, even if it's whatever, they get that support, and we don't get that support amongst each other. Yeah, we know we have the crab in a barrel mentality, but we don't want to build on anything. We don't want to work together. We systematically they destroyed us, and we're okay living in our confines. And they're taking a lot of things away from us under the radar that I don't think a lot of us are even aware of.
But look, um, okay, like I said, we know the game. We play it daily, but we play it one side. We play it
Right.
one side. One
Oh,
sided. I'm sorry.
oh, wait. You did ask the strength. I spoke about the strength. Our weakness. I'm sorry to cut you.
Okay.
Our weakness is that we don't know to work together. That's our biggest weakness. We have no form of unity. And our other weakness is we don't trust each other. No unity and no trust. None. None.
It's 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 crazy. Um, it it's man. It's simple, but it's complex at the same time, right? Because if we take the steps to understand that we do have differences, right? And instead of aiming to change one's difference, accept one for their difference. Allow them to be them. But staying on code is a thing that we need to learn, right? You're my boy. I may not agree with every single thing you state, but guess what? If we're walking down the street and somebody is jumping you, I'm not going to stand there and watch somebody jump you.
Right.
As your boy, we're gonna
Right.
we're gonna
But
protect each other.
at the same token again, why are we even fighting each other? I feel disappointed when I see two black people fighting each other. Like, why are you guys fighting? Why?
I feel
How?
like it's a psychological. I feel like it's a psychological thing. It the crazy thing about it is there's this movie I saw, right? And I know people when they saw that scene, they probably laughed about it. It's like a telemarketing movie when the two Aboriginal guys were fighting, and he's like, "I wish you have a great day." He's like, "What is that?" Oh, like, yo, that's Burberry. What is that? It smells expensive. We should go drink sometime. Drinks on me. They were fighting, but the fighting came in the form of compliments. I know to think, I know to think as such, but um, we need to change the trajectory of how we approach each other. If I step on your sneakers, instead of me being tough about it, apologies, King. That was an unfortunate situation. I didn't mean to. You have to
Yeah,
accept it as well. You know,
yeah,
like
but you see the thing about us, we have to go through. We have to go to us. I think all of us got to go through it different.
what's up,
All
Sean?
right.
Talk to me.
First, when I came in the country, right? Me da
What's up,
spoke.
Jay?
Me da speaky, spokey, whatever, right? All right. I think I went to three to four different changes, whatever, right? Then then I think all of my changes when I went through is based upon me being married. And when the corona that bust the place, me always me like to say it I bust the place. When it that
What's up,
bust the place,
Kenny?
my wife bring the stock market to me and me hear a video and it says, what things are you gonna learn during this pandemic while you're in the house? And I was like, maybe I should learn the stock market. And then I started learning more about Black history, right? And then talking to my wife, some people might think that she's crazy, but me can see the madness in her what she has said.
Bro, she is
And
crazy, bro. But yeah, keep going.
then, yeah.
I hope
So
she didn't hear me.
she laughing. So me learn some things from what she has said. And then now when me start the YouTube channel, me start teach myself more about not only enlightenment but more aware of what's going on with me and what's going on in the world and all the different things that we overlook. And I started look more into Black history. I started looking more into politics, not deeply, but surface wise. And I started looking into some of the things that you say, even when you did sound crazy. And then later on saw most of it actually makes sense. And I started putting certain things to the test. So I started learning more about different things. I started learning all the things that they restrict us from, all the things that they gave to us that was alleged for us, that's not for us, all the things that they stole from us. And I started going through more of a change of knowing things and seeing things instead of just being like, oh, I'm Democrat. This is the way I believe. Oh, I'm Republican. This is the way I believe. I start looking from it outside in and be like, wow, this actually don't make no sense. And this right here, this this right here is something I could work with. And I'm like, why people don't look into certain things instead of they just take information and they just run with it.
Eat
They
it. They
do
just eat it. They just ingest it without actually
right,
questioning it.
right.
Like for instance, I look
She's
at
not crazy,
things.
your wife.
I look at things deeper. Like, and this is the thing why people say I'm difficult, right? The reason why they say I'm difficult is because they don't understand my point, right? So I wonder how many people that's watching this live right now are aware that the labels we wear control our perception and control us in our
Yes,
day to day. The
yes,
Nike, the Gucci, the Louis,
yes,
the the Microsoft, the different tags that
yes,
float around us. The
yes,
objective, right? We work to have the grandest, lavish spot
yes.
ever, right?
Because
Um,
we think name brand is accomplishment.
but peep this. It's not just that we think it's an accomplishment. It's also a prison.
Yes,
We idolize certain people and materialistic things that we don't need to idolize because it's a prison. The objective is to travel within the space of the universe and enjoy the moment of that space. Because once you're out of your avatar, you cannot take certain things with you. Then you leave these people behind and they're fighting for that, right? They're fighting for these things. And I think that's one of our downfalls is that we worship materialistic things and they don't. They,
because people
they,
make it feel like it validates them. It
they, for
it
example,
compliments them. They
for,
look if they get a job, they feel like if they get a job, they I should get the X5, yo, I should get the Bentley, yo, that shit is fire, yo, that shit is flame, yo, you lit, son. I, I I said I said this to I said this to a kid yesterday. He's from the I picked this kid up yesterday from the projects, and he was driving in my car, So black people are upset and fed up with life changes, challenges, and
Challenges
barriers.
and barriers.
Yes, that's a fact. So when I picked the kid up, he was driving in a car, and he said to me like, "What kind of car is it?" He's like, "Yo, this shit is alright." I was like, "It's a Subaru." So he's like, "Yo, you financed it, right?" I said, "Nah, I paid for it. I paid for it cash." He's like, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Why you didn't finance it?" I said, I'm gonna give you a lesson 101 about financial literacy. It's not taught in school, but let me teach you something. I said, if I finance this car, guess what happened? I gotta make a monthly payment. Then the bank gotta put full coverage insurance on it, right? Then I gotta pay a base fee. Then I gotta pay the payments every month. I said, instead of I financed the car, guess what I did? I rather pay it all off right now. And when I paid off, guess what? I don't have to worry about payments or anything of the sort. I said, if I finance it, right? I'm gonna show you something. If I finance the vehicle, and let's say the vehicle costs $15,000, and I put $5,000 down on it, and I have $5,000 in the bank. Guess how much money I got in the bank? If I put five down on it and it costs 15, and I owe 10 on it, and I got five in the bank, and I owe 10. Guess how much I got in the bank? He said
Uh,
$5,000. I said no, I got $0 in the bank. He said how? But you got $5,000 saved. I said yeah, but what about that bill that I owe for $10,000? He said, oh, I get you, bro. I get you, bro. I said instead of you finance the vehicle, buy a gremlin that you could afford to pay for,
you
where you
say
don't have to
gremlin.
put. Well, buy something that's going to take you from point A to point B. Buy something that's in your budget. But we don't know that as black people, because we're taught that if we got the flyest car, or we got these Jordans, or
Let
we
me
got
let me give
a
some kickback. Let me give some kickback on that. All right. So you're correct, by the way. Let me give some kickback. My kickback is I like to finance cars, right? And the reason why I finance cars is because I get the I get not only the newness of the vehicle, but it's less mechanical fees for a substantial of years that I have this vehicle, right? It's the type of finance you do and the purpose of that financing of that particular vehicle. To finance a vehicle today and jump up tomorrow because there's a new one out and get another vehicle is problematic, right?
right,
Um, but when, say, you need to go to work and you know that you can take the your ass up and go buy a vehicle and it could possibly be a lemon versus you walking in a lot and buying a brand new one. It's how you view that vehicle and what you do with that vehicle. See, when you finance that vehicle, is that vehicle really a liability or investment? Do you sign that vehicle up to Toro, and on every weekend you make $150 off of that vehicle by renting the vehicle out? See, the thing is not the financing, the thing is the mentality after you finance.
right.
See,
But
we're
but
falling in love. Let me finish. We're falling in love with the
yeah,
car,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
not knowing it's a liability if we do not make a proper play to turn it into an investment.
Right,
That's the issue. So,
right.
but look, go deeper. Who taught us about finance?
Nobody told me about finance app. Something I learned on my
Exactly.
own.
Exactly. So imagine if our parents were teaching us about finance, our views on the things that we go after would be different, right? So somebody buys a house and they think the house belongs to them, but there's paying rent for that house, right? And they also have a land tax on that house. So say that house is 250, right? But you owe a land tax of $1,000. Guess what?
Banker comfort.
They're coming for the state is coming for their $1,000 for the land tax. And guess what? They're taking everything on the land. So now they have your house and you're out of a house. Your credit is dead because you screwed it up based on that one equation. And now there's somebody can buy your property for $1,000 at an auction due
because
to
that's what
negligence.
you because that's what you see when you sign for your car, whatever you sign for, that's the debt you owe for. Because the two just like we said a while ago, the two sign, right? But you signed for your higher, he got it for the low. And that is it's the same property.
We need to learn the difference between debt. There's
Right.
two forms of debt. And when it comes to debt, there's good debt and there's bad debt.
Right. But also, you see what you said about the car, you said you're renting the vehicle out to to make a profit. But a lot of people don't do that. They buy the car, them a fuck the car, them a rub the car down in the rain like some freaking donkey.
Oh,
And
yo, why do people wash their car in the rain? That's the funniest shit
yo,
ever.
that just grinds my gear. I see a bum wiping the car down in the rain, and I'm
Oh,
like,
man.
I'm done. I'm done.
Oh, man. That's what I mean by the love of material.
Right.
And we will kill
That's the
each other.
problem.
We'll kill each other for material as well.
Right.
And look at this. And we lack the capacity to understand these tangible things, right? So when we do things as such, they believe we're stupid, we're ignorant, and we're dumb when it comes to these things. And one another thing that's detrimental to us is that we feel like we always need the approval of
Yes.
these
Yes.
people. And
Yes.
we don't. If you really look around you, 95% of the things that we utilize were created by our ancestors.
Yes. But you see the same dirty car we are wipe down, them drive it out and them get back. But them write it off some of the time as business mileage. So the same brand new second-hand car that you're broken your neck for, killing yourself for, robbing to get, stealing to get, praising, putting your body in the tailpipe for, them don't rent it out and them went in there. I'm gonna tell you something. I bought a car the other day, right? And the car that I bought, when I buy my car, I always buy my car them where it had a fender bender. When it has a fender bender, due to the fact that I'm gonna be driving the vehicle and it's gonna be depreciating, no matter if it's personally owned or business owned, I rather buy it with a fender bender where the price depreciate. So if the vehicle go for $20,000, so guess how much I get it for? I get it for 15. Now when you pay that, you gotta pay taxes on it and stuff like that. Now you gotta pay $2,000 in taxes, so you pay 17. But if you had to buy it for the initial price, you're gonna pay that $20,000 plus another three or probably $5,000 for registration and stuff like that. That's another thing that I look into. The vehicle is gonna depreciate no matter what, brand new, old, but it's just what you sign that you owe. It's the same thing like when you swipe a credit card. When you swipe the credit card and you sign, you're putting a waiver that you did make the purchase, and the purchase that's made, you're responsible for it. You feel
Yeah,
me?
but it goes deeper than that too. If you don't sign that, they can't charge your card. Your card.
Exactly.
What
Yep.
you're doing, they're giving consent.
Right.
And we consent to everything we do. Even when the cops pull you over and tell you to sign a ticket, that's you giving consent
Right.
to that supposedly crime that you committed.
Good.
Whatever,
All right.
whatever.
Now,
I can go deeper, but it's like here's something I want to touch. Wait. Star said something. He said, "Why buy goods to show off to each other?"
Them nonsense. Just plain and simple. Just plain and simple. I got another one for you. something that I taught myself. I was working for a trucking company, right?
Mhm.
And when you're new to certain things, you don't know no better, right? And I worked for the trucking company. When I worked for the trucking company, they say, "Oh, you get 401k, you get free medical, and this, that, and the third." So when I stopped working for the trucking company, I took my 401k from them, whatever, right? And they charged me an early, they charge you a early, what you call it? When they take out your money early, what you call
It's
that?
a penalty. It's a
Right.
penalty fee.
So
It-
later on, I found this company that does fractional sharings. It's called M1 Finance. Now, when you're with your company that you work for, that gives you this 401k and this dental stuff, whatever, they take your money, right, that you work, and they put it into fractional shares. I said, I'm not excited about a company that gave me 401k and free medical and stuff like that. I was like, I could get Medicaid. That's not free, but whatever is based upon your income. I said, I don't need a 401k and medical and stuff like that. I was like, I could get that myself. I said, the reason why I'm not excited for that is because I see what they do. I said, if I want a retirement, I could create my own retirement on my own. All I need to do is download M1 Finance, and I buy fractional shares in Tesla, Google, Berkshire Hathaway, Facebook, Twitter, and all these big companies. And when I'm ready to retire, I could retire off of that. I buy a fraction of all of these big companies that I can't afford. I said medical. The government gives free medical that they bill you through your insurance or based upon your income. I don't need a dental and stuff like that because I could get that from the government. So when a company start throwing 401k, I'm not I'm not new to it. I already understand how that's set up already. And that's something that I taught myself.
I normally every company I work for, um every company I become an indigent servant for. I used to buy 401k plans in them. But what they don't teach you is that that company makes more money off your 401k than you
Yes,
do,
yes,
right?
they do. That's a fact.
That's the schematic. It's kind of like a company that you pay your bill to is
Mm-hmm.
charging you a fee to pay your bill, right?
Right.
So imagine, say, T-Mobile, for instance, I'm paying my bill of $150. It's charging me $10 to pay my phone bill, right? And say T-Mobile will get a million people to do that. Think about it. Everything is like an illusion in a sense. But
Yes.
the point I want to make is that I feel like we need to get more financial literacy,
Literacy. Literacy, yes.
right? We need to, and I feel like once we understand money and
Right.
realize that money is not only just energy, but it's basically a piece of paper with no value. The value comes from you. When you pick
Yes.
up and you go to work, you're the resource. You're
Yes.
spending time. You're putting your energy into this. And
Yes.
90% of the time, if you look on your W-2s and on one side you see FICA, state, social security, so on and so forth. And on the other hand, you see medical, so on and so forth. The
Yeah.
company's supposed to pay that, but guess who pays for all of it?
You do.
You do.
Yes.
And do you know that the company is the one that sets up how much you actually pay?
Yes.
So we need to become more aware of the things we do and what we give our time because we feel like we're free from slavery. Slavery has just been changed into something else.
It got
Point
upgraded. It went
point
to
blank period.
2.0.
Point blank period. And I just say this to say that I feel like everyone should create a business because I can turn not only my house into that business, I can write those things off. Light bill, water bill, gas, so on and so forth, right? You don't really have to struggle. You struggle because you're locked in a jail within your mind.
Yes. And
Freedom starts within your mind.
people are comfortable in their confine. You got a nigga that's in the projects. Instead of him say, let me come out, he got all the Jordans and he's taking a bus. He got all the Jordans and he got
But
a
but
car
look,
park in the
but look,
whatchamacallit.
but look, I feel like we need to go watch that. And I was introduced to this by Kevin Samuel. There's a documentary that says How to Sell to the Negro, right? It's a marketing scheme how to sell to us. They cater to our emotions, right?
Right. But
Whenever we get money, what do we do with it?
you buy.
Some dudes, I watch dudes work 6 days a week just to get a pair of kicks or to get
Yeah.
a car they need, knowing it's a liability. But if I talk to them, it's like, yo, you're hating on me.
Yo,
But
shut the fuck.
I
Yo,
don't
shut
give
up.
up.
Like, shut up. Like, shut up, nigga. You old
I don't
guy.
give up. Oh, you're a bum. You're
Yeah.
this. You're that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we're supposed to enjoy the moment, right? Within life, these things are tools that we utilize, not the opposite way around. And we need to understand this,
But
right?
you see, if it's not being taught in the house, and the mother I do 500 hours and have to work, guess what? That kid is not gonna know these and no, not about financial literacy. This is what may I try to tell you. Say, I went through stages in my life, and all as the day goes by, I'm teaching myself stuff. My pops never taught me none of this stuff.
They didn't
You feel me?
know. They didn't know these things are kept away from them.
And- right, and they were okay with that. If I bring an Android phone to my father right now, he'll probably throw it away. He'll want a flip phone. He want that
Because,
flip shit where you could dial the number and shit like that.
but look at this. Look at this. With all the complexities within these things, right? The objective of a phone is still to make a phone call, right? The objective of a car is to drive to get to your destination. The
Ah,
objective of a house, the objective of a house is to keep you away from the rain, the sun
nah,
hot, and
no, I'm
so
a
on and
listen,
so
listen,
forth.
I'm a
It's not for me to
listen,
be flossing
I'm a
on you like, yo, my
listen,
house is better than yours when you're in
listen,
poverty.
listen. I'm gonna live in this project right here, and I'm gonna pass it on to my generation, to the generation, to the generation, to the next generation. I'm gonna keep passing this poverty on. I'm gonna buy this car and I'm gonna wash it in the rain. And I don't give a what you want to say because you're hating. All right, let me live my life. Don't worry about me.
But you're standing still. So is it really hate or you're detrimental to yourself? Like that's the thing. It's kind of like the concept of eating, right? Um, are we really eating to live or are we eating to die? Because
To
what
survive.
is food?
Food
And
is
and
for
I'm not. Go ahead.
it's for people. People are just living just to live. They're
Are they
okay
living? Are they living though? That's what I'm at. Are they really living?
in their mind. They are.
Because I see a lot of dead corpse around me, bro.
Listen, I see people partying every week, and I'm like, what is the definition of a party? A party is a celebration, right?
What are you celebrating? You said you're still in poverty. You still got rent to pay. You still don't own anything. You're still
And
in debt. You're not
and
utilizing your debt.
they're okay with that. Everybody is okay with the government being daddy.
Hold up a
Everybody,
second. I'm gonna
a lot of
advertise. I'm gonna advertise, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Props to Three Kings LLC. This is my merchandise, right? I own this. The website is on its way. We're restocking and we're about to launch pretty soon. I want to say sometimes at the end of the month. This is my brand. I write this off every single year. Everything I put into this, I get back. I've placed continuously a video. It's called, I've done a live with the king, Charles Tank Harris. It's an Aboriginal, just like us. He teaches financial literacy, right? His company is called Wealth Our Way. I've signed up to his company. I've learned so much based on his teachings. He has a saying, and I don't want to butcher it, but he gives this saying daily. You don't have to work to be rich. You get what I'm saying? Like, work. Let me take that back. That's actually not his quote, by the way. That's me saying this. You can work for you. You can turn your kids into a 1099. You can turn them into a business. And you can do this with your family. You just have to grind and continue grinding to elevate yourself. Shout out to Sean, right? Mike Arthur. I'm a big fan of Sean. The image you're looking at on the MEN-talRollaDeK profile was conjured by him. It's his hard work. Yes, it's my face, but it's hard work. Sean has created for me and continues to create for me. I will forever support Sean. I have a child's comic book that he's going to do for my kids. Right?
Yeah, take you off of Amazon.
No, that's not the book. That's not the book I write. He's going to create a comic book for my children.
Okay.
Right? This is a king I will always support. I like supporting us, especially when I know our heart is in the right place. And real recognize real, still sharp still. So salute to Sean. Right? District is his company. King is doing great things. He has a lot of things coming out. Maybe one day I could put him back on here so he can explain all the beautiful things that he has coming out. And shout out to his queen. She's dope as well. You get what I'm saying? We need to party by celebrating us. And this is me as well. Three Kings Clothing. This is me right here. This is all me. Celebrate us. It may not be grand at the moment, but the more I keep grinding, the bigger it's going to get. And I know this because I have a number within my head and I see it reaching that number. Point blank, period. Celebrate and party with your family and self. I understand sometimes you have dreams and not everybody believes in your dream, but start somewhere. Your eyes only see as far as your feet takes you. There's a grand world out there, right? Go see it. Create something. Elevate. Stop being fearful. It's like we're stuck in fear. We're scared to move. And some of us have guilt because we can't save everybody. The objective is to save you first.
Yep. When the plane is going down, put the mask on yourself first.
Save you first. Don't ever lose that mentality. It's not that you don't care about your family. Sometimes you have to step away in order to elevate to where you need to be. Jay said one of the most dopest lines I still use to this day. I can't help the poor if I'm one of them. So I got rich and gave back to me. That's the win-win. Plain and simple. You know, instead of looking at the message, we scrutinize the messenger. Everybody has flaws. Everybody's fucked up. Everybody has shit they go through. But I salute those that never quits, that create nothing and make it something. Everything starts somewhere. And guess what? Once a man, twice a child, meaning you were born, you grow, you transform, and then you turn back into a child. The older you get, the more you shit on yourself.
Yep. Yo, just like how them get the walk off when you walk, it you go get when you're in there, when you get old again. Most of the time, neighbor social
He said
classification.
the Europeans call it neighbor social classification. It is also social engineering and a form of mass programming. They are running on brown people.
Yep.
Yes, you Aboriginal people. And y'all fall for it every time. That's why I don't really support certain movements, because in the forefront, a lot of these movements is a European. I don't have anything against Europeans. Like, everybody has a place in the world, but I feel like we need to invest in us more. Right?
Yep.
And that trusting, that trust issue we have, don't trust me when you're in pain.
Yo,
Trust me all year round. Don't trust me when you have a belief system and it's beneficial for you to gain through that belief system. Trust me all year round.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you something. So my wife's father gave me a rose to pick up one lady. So she goes on we pick her up. I'm gonna say, why you never did those call her base to come pick you up? She said, really? She said, what she said to me, she said, I don't trust the other base. I trust Uber. I said, Miss, let me ask you something. Why you don't trust a base? She said, it don't give the drivers. I said, Miss, it's the same information as Uber. It gives you the driver's license plate number, it gives you their name, it gives you their car number. What are you saying? And she was quiet.
Bro,
She's
look,
so programmed.
Look at this, right? You have a off-brand with a very unique name, right? Okay, like this is Three Kings, right? Mm-hmm. And this remote is Xbox. So they trust the Xbox over the Three Kings because they're not familiar with the Three Kings.
Right.
But guess what? Three Kings is the same quality as this.
Yeah.
They don't look at it in that sense. They look at it in the fact that it's Microsoft, it's Xbox. Right. They've been around longer. They this, they that. But that's criminal. Like, it's kind of like, for example, right? I'm sorry, Apple. I like certain Apple products, right? But take the iPhone, for instance. If you crack, okay, this is Samsung, right? If you crack an iPhone open, you will see a lot of moving parts that belongs to Samsung.
Really?
Yes, Apple ended up suing Samsung because on a island somewhere, they had the exact iPhone with a Samsung name on it. They create the outer shell, they create the camera. Pay attention to the camera system. Whenever Samsung get an upgrade in camera, so does the iPhone. It's the same company. Kind of like the eyeglass industry. The eyeglass industry has Louis, Gucci, Prada, so on and so forth. Well, peep this. They're all made by one company.
They're a scam.
They're all made by one company. And a reporter was interviewing the dude, and she said, why not bring your prices down? You know what he said? People love variety. So because people love variety, he can keep his price where he keeps his price.
Wait, is it 1 or 3?
What do you mean?
The eyeglass company.
It's one company. This one company bought and owned every single glasses company. They're the mass producers of all glasses, whether it's Dior, whether it's Louis, whether it's Prada. Look it up. One owner. So a lot of things we're killing each other for and competing for is made by one person using a marketing scheme against you to make you believe that they're different, right? Like, for instance, Kia is owned by Hyundai. Lexus owns Toyota.
Yeah.
There's so many different moving parts out there. But we're so focused on because we like what we like. But it's the same thing.
Actually, they make some of them look a bit different.
Because one is sport and one is luxury, bro.
Yes. Because if you have a Lexus and you have a Toyota, the two of them are the same thing. But if you buy the Lexus part and put in a Toyota, it's expensive. Or if you take a Toyota part and put in a Lexus,
but it's the same parts.
Cheaper.
But it's the same parts.
Yeah, but as I say, there's a way to it.
That's what I'm saying. They use these ways to it to affect our perception on these things. Like, a lot of people are unaware, especially us, are unaware that stores are structured the way they're structured to play on your psyche. Like, take a Walmart, for instance. Based on how their end caps are built, it forces you to purchase more. How many people has ever gone to Walmart saying, I'm going to spend a budget of $50 and end up spending more? Is it just me? No. Because these things play on your psychological mind frame, bro. It's deeper. It's deeper. Things are not what it seems, but it's simple within the same breath. You're sitting there watching the TV and keep seeing a commercial for Chick-fil-A. And this is a brand new sandwich. Or Popeyes. Come check out the new chicken sandwich. Just in a week, Aboriginal people spend $23 million. But yet you have some of our community scholars will say, so-called blacks are broke. We're in poverty. Are we? Really?
No, we can't be in poverty if we be supporting all these big ass
companies, right? For us to be the poorest people, so-called poorest people, we certainly make a lot of people rich. Except ourselves, by the way. It's a 1%, minus the 1%. Minus the 1%. You know? There's a lesson in everything to learn, man. We just got to learn it. Stop looking at the messenger and get the message. Point blank, period. And a thing that I don't like about us as well is that we are quick to tear each other down. Like, we cancel each other quicker than any other race cancel themselves. Like, they put something out in the news, like, yo, Bill Cosby did this to a bunch of women. Yeah, he did it. You weren't there, Negro. You don't even know that. You don't even have the information on what's going on. Yeah, he did it. We got to stop this shit. We got to stop this shit, man. And celebrate each other. Like, we always create these dumbass challenges. Let's create a challenge of us supporting ourselves. How about that?
That's too much.
It's not too much. See, I'm so secure in myself. When I see things, I can salute my kings and my queens for what they're doing. Shout out to Mugabe for the 25 push-up challenge that he's doing. No excuses, right? He's working on better health. We need to change our mind frames of our health, how we treat ourselves and what we put into our temples. So we can only become greater mentally, physically, and spiritually. You can't fix the body without fixing the mind. You can't fix the mind without fixing the spirit. They all go wrapped hand in hand, point blank, period. And that's just what it is. So if you see a king doing something, give him his flowers. You see a queen doing something, give her her flowers. Point blank, period.
That's too much of that. I think I post that before on what you call it. I think I posted that before. One of the most difficult thing, even in your very household, sometimes it's hard for people to do, to acknowledge each other.
So this is a quote from Muhammad Ali, right? People run in packs because they don't feel safe alone. I run alone because I don't feel safe in packs. Let that sink in.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Period. Hey, King Brooks.
Yeah.
Brooks, read that.
Is that a man Brooks? Who that?
We don't know them picture nah sure. But yeah, you know, let it sink in, man. We're gonna end this. We're gonna end this here. We need more conversations as such amongst each other. Females need to hold females accountable. Males need to hold males accountable, right? We need to go back to those principles. We've lost our morals. We're letting too many things slide, and not because it's not in front of our doorstep, it doesn't mean that it's not affecting us. Point blank, period. We need to become stronger within versus being strong outside of ourselves. We are great. We just got to find our greatness. We have to put the strength within ourselves. We gotta purge our temples. We gotta eat right. We gotta exercise, and we gotta flow right. And we gotta stop being hypnotized by the bullshit illusion that they create for us to follow. Understand who you are. Go for broke in what you believe. Period.
How can you implement that? You know, I said to my daughter, the one place you can get the education where you need, if you choose not to listen to what your father tell you, is school. But I'm not gonna show you this.
Nah, don't do that. We need to understand that education doesn't stop with school.
No, it doesn't.
Education really doesn't start with school, because the things you utilize in your day to day, they never taught it to you in school. You had to bump your head in order to learn these things by going through what you're going through. School does have its place. Shout out to Rich. But education doesn't start there. We need to learn more about ourselves, our history, the vast lands, the greatness that we are as a people, as a whole. Everyone takes from us, but no one celebrates us. It's time we celebrate ourselves. And stop falling for the okie dokes, man. They throw a little bullshit holiday out there and give it to you. You didn't even ask for it, but they can turn around and give a Chinese group this and that because 8 of them died. How many of you died? And you're still looking for your seat at the table with these people that keep shimmying around you, that still has a document in Congress that they sign however many years.
And revamp it back.
The cotton field. That still say you're 3/5 of a man. But I say this, 100 of them is not worth one of you, because genetically you're stronger. physically, mentally, and spiritually, you're stronger. But it's not for me to teach you that. It's for you to find that out yourself by going within. Talk to yourself. Stop giving a fuck about what other people believe or think about you. Talk to yourself. Answer back. Enjoy it. Period.
I do that sometimes.
Peace.